We received an email from a Mr. Sulky that read,
Hi, I'm indie developer of Facebook game called TrackRacing. Hi, you have awesome videos. Could you please make review for our free game?
since this isn't a real game, Mike declined. There was a much heated debate, but as you all know, rock beats scissors.
It's bullshit. TrackRacing is a game designed so ignorant people have something else to do loudly on a packed bus or train. TrackRacing is not a game. The end. What is TrackRacing? TrackRacing is an app for Facebook which has been ported to iOS and Android devices and tablets, as well as Oya! So we spent a fair while
About an hour playing it.
doing this. Where do you want to begin even discussing this?
Okay, so let's take it from the start. And obviously, you get in, and it's like boom, round, fucking. You obviously get your login stuff, and you're like, yeah, whatever, play as a guest.
Oh, we've taken a step too far already.
Have we?
Yeah. Let's talk about as soon as you load that page up and you get that fucking SoundCloud soundtrack shit going off at the bottom. The soundtrack, which has one field of stuff that I don't even know what it is. I'm not even sure.
Gonna assume it's some kind of drum and bass.
I don't know. But it initially starts up with another playlist, which is filled up with actual songs. And
Papa Roach.
And
Papa Roach was
one,
on
of course, is the internet's favourite YouTube soundtrack of all time.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the...
Just turn it down. Just be prepared, you know. Because we weren't.
And I shit myself. Loudly.
How can you loudly shit yourself?
So after you do all that, you enter the select a character screen, which is point number 2 of the lack of originality with it, if you're going to add the soundtrack as an unoriginal bullet point.
Yeah.
The characters, some of which look like they're taken straight from other things. I mean, there's a guy who looks like Vin Diesel. There's like a Indiana Jones smoking a cig.
You got Ghost Rider type. You've got Nathan Howell from Resistance: Fall of Man. And
there's a woman who looks like Lara Croft, who I really want to protect, but I can't because I don't want to be a sexist asshole.
But yeah, it's just a bunch of...
The likeliness... I can't even use the word the likeliness has been ripped off, because it's not even likeliness. They look the spitting image
Well, I mean, obviously
of said characters.
The Vin Diesel one, I'm pretty sure, is just a picture of Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Nathan Howell is clearly a cut straight from...
I mean, the guy doesn't look
Resistance.
exactly like Indiana Jones, but the likeliness is there for
Well, I would have thought you'd gone more for a old American gangster or like a cop detective type person.
Maybe, yeah, it does look a bit like a character from Mafia, actually.
So, basically, one of the features of this game is the fact that it's multiplayer. Which, okay, yep, sounds great. You go in, you choose your map, you choose your car. To start with, you only get one car because you've got to get medals to be able to unlock the rest of them. To be able to get
medals are achieved via completing said races.
For example, I've got 3 medals for doing the level by cheating. If you remember, I just reversed and drove to the finish line.
What? You cheated on a video game? Unbelievable. I can't condone cheating on this channel.
It's not a video game. It claims to be a multiplayer game, which, yeah, would work really well with a game like this. You know, just sort of a laugh with your mates type thing. But the multiplayer isn't against other players. It's against the other players' ghosts.
Imagine, if you will, a trial lap on a game like an actual racing game like Forza or
Gran Turismo,
where you go around a track on your own, and then after you've done a lap, a ghost goes around to simulate what you just did. You are essentially playing against those ghosts, but of other people online. You're not actually playing against people in real time.
Yeah.
I can sort of understand it, I guess, but at the same time, I thought, being that this is a game on a fucking social network website, the least you could do is make it a social game.
Race against other people, yeah.
Not fucking Farmville or fucking whatever other shit is on that website. Ah.
Maybe we should get a Facebook.
You played the game because I Bagsied not playing it.
Yeah.
You played it.
Yeah.
Didn't
want to, but
what? Why not? What's wrong with you? Do you not like video games?
Again, going back to that point, is this a video game?
Facebook! So you played it. Explain to the ladies and gentlemen at home how the game controls.
Oh, God. Okay, so I don't know if this is just his shitty wireless keyboard.
Oh, it's probably just my shitty wireless keyboard.
But
if you're going to bring up the cutting out.
Yeah.
I believe that's probably...
If it is, then you need to get a fucking wired keyboard. Do not play this with a wireless keyboard.
Dude, I don't know what age you live in, Grandad, but this is the age of wireless, yeah? So when I'm talking on my Bluetooth, I like to have a wireless keyboard so that I can write an email, a wireless email. Sign it on the wall.
So anyway...
Who's playing Trackmania? Oh wait, it's called TrackRacing.
I don't know where you keep getting Trackmania from.
Because I read it somewhere.
Good. Okay.
I don't even know what the name is of this fucking game. We're reviewing it. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, the controls. Controls are actually not bad if you play it properly. When your keyboard actually works, it's not too bad. It's relatively simple. You've obviously got your arrow keys are accelerate, brake, turn left, right. You've got R to complete restart the race if you fuck up and blow up and crash and die, or you can use E and rewind the race.
Kind of Prince of Persia-esque tactic, if you will.
Yeah, but I think the rewinding was also in Forza.
Is it really?
Yeah, if you like sort of come around the corner and you fuck up just slightly, you can just rewind it, do it again.
I can understand that being a point, but there was also a point in this when you were playing. There's a point that made that a negative issue in that you were trying to do multiple times in fact. You were trying to do corners or take shortcuts, and you'd keep coming back so far and then coming back again and then keep going for like a minute, maybe a minute and a half. You were trying to do this thing, and at times I just think it would just be best to just not have that and just have it as end of it.
You've sucked up, restart the race.
Because it can become quite monotonous. I imagine, well, it is to watch. I imagine it probably is to play it as well. I can't imagine there's a challenge like I have to get this right. I imagine it's just
I think that's what it does though, because you've got that option there to use it. You feel as though everything now needs to be perfect and you have to get almost a perfect lap. So if you do start messing up a corner or a bend or a jump, you feel as though you have to reset it or rewind it and just continuously attempt it until you get that perfect so you can get that fastest time possible.
Fair enough. We didn't really look at a lot of maps.
No, but the ones we did look at were, apart from that one user made, were all relatively basic and simple.
They're a user made. There are different levels. It goes from
very
easy to extreme
medium,
or
hard or something, yeah.
And then all the in-between ones in the ratings. We didn't really look any higher than about normal or anything, if that.
No,
I don't remember.
Think we did.
I don't remember looking at many.
No.
I mean, I'll put up some footage right here of other ones.
Yeah, and what we actually looked at and everything.
But yeah, they just looked like there was nothing special.
They were, yeah. I mean, the obviously the easy tracks are there just to get used to the game, to be easy. Yeah. But they all seemed really, really basic, almost like they're just go-karts. And it was just go here, go around like 4 or 5 bends, that's it, finished.
Take a big nitros jump off of something.
Yeah.
Rewind because you hit something and come back, realise that you can't actually adjust your speed, so keep hitting the thing about 12 times before you realise you have to come back a little bit more just so you don't have enough speed.
Yeah.
And then you crash on impact on the floor. Also on the screen when you're driving around, there's the classic minimap in the corner. However, given you play with ghosts, you won't see said map because it's hidden behind the names
and the position that people are in.
and it will be much easier to just make it a tiny bit smaller and move it across to the other side of the screen.
Yes.
So just to have it adjacent to the names.
Or just get rid of the positioning because
get rid of
where everyone's a ghost.
And just have it when they go for a checkpoint, it just comes up at the top like a Forza.
Yeah, yeah. You are X amount of seconds in front or behind whoever's in first.
Minus whatever the number.
Yeah, no, I think that would have been
preferable.
Definitely.
Because then you could look at your little thing like a Mario Kart minimap, and you could tell where you are in relation to
everyone else
instead of just guessing on the numbers alone. You can see everything.
Yeah, because the names did block out the map quite badly, and it did make it awkward to try and. I mean, just before you start, I normally look at the map, so I've got a rough idea on what I'm doing.
Where turns are coming up and such.
Yeah, so you got a rough idea on like how many turns, if there's any really sharp turns, and try and learn where they are first. With this game, obviously, you can't do that because of the names in this minimap, and it just completely blocks the map. You can't really see properly. If there is a way to disable or move it, we didn't look into that.
The maps on the subject of maps, the maps and the play of the game is very Wipeout as well, as I said to you at the time. I thought it was very Wipeout-esque in that you could just fucking shoot off of maps at any given corner. You just fly off into the surrounding map.
Especially if the map didn't have barriers up.
Yeah.
Around the sort of the edge of the road or the edge of the track.
I mean, you said to me, this is a direct quote from you. You said escaping the track was more fun than the actual game.
Yeah.
You said getting out and just driving around the terrain that surrounded said map.
And so, that's because of you got the obstacles of the trees, and it appears that they've actually put quite a lot of effort into like the surrounding map itself, of the sandbox itself.
If you don't fall through the level and enter just a grey blob.
Yeah. But in terms, because obviously it's supposed to be like this relatively fun. Well, I'm assuming it's meant to be this relatively fun arcade racing game.
Well, it is fun.
But it feels as though they've spent more time actually looking at the scenery around you rather than the gameplay and the racing itself. And
we both agree that the skybox looks a lot better than the actual
sky art itself.
The actual textures of everything else.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's not saying a lot. We're not graphics whores. Neither of us agree that graphics makes or breaks a game.
No.
I'm not saying that is a negative point for this game. It's just a point. It's a fact.
Yeah.
It looked better.
So there's also cheats. Apparently.
Is there cheats?
Yeah, if you go into settings, it says enter cheats.
Yes, enter cheats. You can enter cheat codes as well.
I'm guessing you just look them up online.
We don't know any of those.
Um,
I'd guess Brum Brum Car is one.
Probably.
Enter the cheat code.
Facebook is shit. They'll probably win everything.
To win all games.
Also,
My Fat Dildo gives you the longest car in the game. Thunderpants. Thunderpants allows for double the amount of nitrous time you would normally get.
These aren't real.
What?
These aren't real cheats.
They're
Mike's
not?
Just guessing these.
Well, how else are you going to... I thought we were in the 90s. I thought the only way to find out cheats was through the grapevine. Word of mouth.
No. We're not doing Phantasmagoria anymore.
I wish we were. Yes, let's point out the level editor, which is...
The level editor, that was interesting to say the least.
The level editor. Now, I like to rate level editors from 0 to Time Splitters 2. I think Time Splitters 2 had the most ideal level editor you could possibly... It was basic enough that you could understand what you were doing, yet at the same time it could become complex enough that you could create some fancy little level that would dazzle yourself and those that you showed it to.
Yeah, where you could literally make your own sort of campaign levels.
You can make an objective-based game. You don't particularly find yourself going, damn.
Yeah, with the Time Splitters 2 level editor, it was a case of you kind of, I don't know, you did it and you just sort of knew what to do. There was no real tutorial for it, but everything just felt right in the way that you place everything and the way you built your levels.
There's a big block in front of you, that big block is a big room. There's a little block, it's a little corridor room.
Whereas with this TrackRacing,
it gives you no real inkling into what button you are pressing and for what reason.
Yeah, you try and insert, as you'll probably see, I tried to insert a bit of track, and for whatever reason, it put it underwater. And it didn't tell me, or
there's no explanation as to why that was happening.
And I couldn't work out how to move it up, so I even tried adjusting the height, which made the track, just a small chunk of it, sort of just form this huge slope, which then crashed you into the water. And
kind of like a roller coaster going up.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
And it was just, how do you even do this?
I mean, there's no... Because you mentioned, speaking of roller coaster, you mentioned Roller Coaster Tycoon when you were playing it. You said it was kind of like a shitty version of making a roller coaster in it. Yeah. But even with that, you press a button, starts you off with a station block. You can see the station block. It's another station block. Yeah. What happens if I press this? There's a bit of track.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. You know where you stand with it. But this was just a little white cube with a line.
Yeah.
And you were like, okay, what does that do when I click it? Click. What have I done? I'm not going to tell you. Click. Drag it.
Obviously, it did. When we started it did recommend watching the tutorial, which I didn't bother to do to begin with because I thought, okay, it should be relatively simple anyway.
You would have thought,
judging by the way the game is.
Yeah, for a fucking internet flash game.
Yeah.
You'd have thought nothing of it.
Yeah. So, and it seems sort of simple enough where you just literally click and it inserts a chunk of track. And obviously you just build it up from that. That wasn't the case. So we
had a gander at said YouTube tutorial video.
Which is a recommended one by the game itself.
This was on the screen. This wasn't a we looked it up on YouTube. No. This was a given to us by the game tutorial. And the guy on the other end, Mr. Zoo Raper, or whatever his fucking name was, hadn't the fucking foggiest what he was doing. It was baffling to watch. I mean, there was a point where he made the track, he came back round and he was like, I don't actually know how to connect this.
Yeah.
Swing it right back around. See, I don't know how to connect them. That's the only problem I'm having. I don't know how to connect them.
Which got us onto the question of whether this person was a team associate or whether it was just a random raper of zoos that had
found on YouTube.
Got himself on YouTube.
They must have been someone that they found on YouTube. I can't imagine that he actually works for the company, not knowing how to work.
You don't
his own
notice
device.
it with the given tracks to you, not the user ones, like the actual. You don't notice fucking broken lanes.
No,
everything is connected.
Everything's perfect.
So I'd imagine the level editor of the actual things knew what he was doing. So I can't imagine that person
is part of it. Yeah. No, I was
because someone would have tapped him on the shoulder after feeling like going, fuck face. You just click that button, mate.
Raper of zoos.
Can you get your cock out of that kangaroo's arsehole for a minute and just
switch this over?
Stop getting this hippopotamus to chomp you off and just connect this road. Stop doing, and it was calamitous. Not to mention boring.
So basically, overall, if it's a free game on Android, iOS, and obviously on the web it is, and there's no microtransactions or any shit like that, then yeah, it could be.
Hold on, let me just. No, this game isn't made by EA, so there are no microtransactions.
Excellent. So in that sense, it's fun to pass the time. If you can get a second person, it makes it a little bit better. I think I enjoyed it more than when me and you had that split screen race.
Yeah, we didn't mention that, the split screen, which is sort of a pain. I mean, I have no idea how it works on fucking Android tablets or iPhone. I can't imagine that feature still stands.
But in terms of it, the online version, the split screen was probably the best part of it, and even that wasn't that great. It was, I don't know, just didn't feel competitive. But again, I don't know if that's because you have shitty keyboard, because that kept cutting out.
Well, inevitably, it's kind of like you're using the same thing, and it just seems like a pain in the arse as opposed to something interesting.
Yeah, I want you saying.
I don't know if there's a way where you can use like a USB controller
or even one
configure
use keyboards
it.
and the other use a mouse.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, that's a bit simple. You just left click to accelerate, right click to brake, move the mouse left to turn left, move the mouse right to turn right.
Then how would you honk your horn?
Push the mouse and the mouse will win.
But then how would you rewind time?
That was a point, because obviously on the split screen, if one of you fucked up,
you would rewind time and the other person would follow suit.
So it would sort of fuck you both up. Or you could just completely restart the braids and piss off your mate, which would probably result in quite a few bruises or black eyes, especially if your mate's winning.
So did you say Black Ops?
No black eyes.
Black Ops? Call of Duty Black Ops. Now there's a good game, Call of Duty Black Ops, available out now in shops. Ring ring. Hello? Who's this? The publishers and developers of Call of Duty.
Do you know who they are?
No. Do you want to give me £1 million?
Fuck off, as if Activision would give away money. I still don't understand why you picked up your phone. It's not like there's a camera in here at all, watching us.
I bought a Kinect the other day. I didn't. Just to clarify, I didn't. It's a joke about the American government looking at my penis. Speaking of penises, this game... Sorry, I said game again, didn't I?
Yep.
This app.
Yeah, I think app is...
The age that we live in, of people getting apps like Angry Chicks and Trial Bike and whatever they're called, I don't know.
Yep.
Fucking shit like this is probably gonna get eaten up because it's easy to use in terms of controls.
Yep.
And it can very well take away minutes, if not hours, of your life at a time. Just sitting there, fucking trying to do something better than we did before.
Yeah.
Inevitably, it's not a game, and it's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook.
And that is our opinion.
Yeah.
IGN gave it 10 out of 10. It's not bad.
IGN paid 50 quid to say that.
IGN paid 50 quid.
Probably.
Here's £50. Please let us say it's okay.